Hi, welcome everybody. So we are going to get started with our project part. So in the previous session, we have already discussed that we are implementing the project Automotive Consumer Analytics. And this case study is from Deloitte. And I've already given a brief about the project and the customer study from Deloitte in the previous sessions. So now we are going to resume from whatever we have completed in the last session. So in the last session, we started discussions on an automotive company wants to decide, which markets, powertrains, charging services, connected features, purchase channels, and service improvements deserve investment. Okay. This is what a company wants to know. So now they wanted their data analysts to do this study and give them the insights. So now the data analyst, what they have done, they collected a data set, and the data set which we are using in this training is Automotive Consumer Analytics dataset. Okay. So you can find your Automotive Consumer Analytics dataset on your Trello card. And here is the dataset which we will be using in our study. Okay. I believe this is clear. So in this is a synthetic learning dataset which we will be using. And the purpose of this dataset is it's a realistic practice dataset inspired by this 2026 Global Automotive Consumer Study by Deloitte. Okay. So on the basis of their report, we have created this dataset. Nature of this data is this is a synthetic respondent level data. It is not Deloitte's raw survey data. Okay. ये Deloitte का data नहीं है. This data is created on the basis of Deloitte's report. Okay. Now, once you will practice on this, then eventually we will, give you more realistic industrial data so that you can process it and work out on it. It has around 3,500 rows, and this cover markets. These are the 6 markets which we are covering. I think 8 markets we are covering in this. China, Germany, India, Japan, South Korea, Southeast Asia, UK, and US. These are the markets, automotive markets, which which we will be analyzing in this data set. In the original Deloitte's data set, they have did this research across 27 automotive markets. Now, the core themes are in this data set, EV adoption, charging, brand switching, digital research, SDVs, AI personalization, privacy, OTA retention, and service trust. We'll talk about all of these. This is in software-defined services, and we'll talk about it. Okay. Then what we have to do, we will be using Python, let's say Python, Excel, SQL, Power BI, in order to analyze this data set. And the source document which we have used is 2026 Global Automotive Consumer Study. Okay. On the basis of that, we will be using this data set. Now, this data set has multiple sheets in it. The first sheet is respondent data. Okay. And we are going to talk about it. So in this respondent data, the first one is respondent ID. You can respondent you can consider as a customer who is using any of these vehicles across these markets. Okay. So the respondent here in this data set is a customer. Okay. I believe you are clear. Okay. So what type of customers these could be? These could be first time owners. These could be existing owners. Okay. So there are different types of customers which are taken into consideration. Now, these customers will belong to a specific country, okay, across our market. Their age is mentioned over here. Their genders are mentioned over here. Their annual income in US dollars is mentioned. Their ownership status. And this is the important column, preferred next engine. Okay. What next engine they are preferring. Okay. As per the survey. So here, if you see, you can find this data. Some are preferring a hybrid electrical vehicle. Some are preferring internal combustion engine. Okay. And this is what we are talking about in the document, which we are referring. Okay. So I'm taking you back to the document. So now here is the data set. You got to have a clear understanding of the data set now, which contains around 3,500 synthetic consumers across 8 different markets and 26 variables. So these 26 variables mean there are 26 columns in this, data set. The number of columns in this data set is 26. Okay, these are the set of information which are available from A to Z. Okay, I believe this is clear. And the overall number of rows which are here in this data set is 3,500. Okay, you can see that. The first one is an index, so it goes up to row number 3501. Okay, so around 3,500 rows are here in this data set. Now, so the first business area on which we will be focusing and performing our analysis is electrification. And I have already told you about that the business want to know that which electrification engine should we promote? This is their first question, which they want to understand. Okay, which engine we should promote? Should we promote battery electric vehicle? Should we promote plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, or a hybrid electric vehicle, or an internal combustion engine? Okay, and the data set column name is this. So the data set is in preferred next engine. That is one column in which we have the data, and the second column is EV intender. Okay, EV intender means a customer who intends to buy electric vehicle. Okay, is that clear? This is a column in your data set. Okay, so here are the set of columns which you will find here. So first one is preferred next engine, and second one is EV intender. Okay, so this is battery electric vehicle, plugged-in hybrid electric vehicle. So wherever battery electric vehicle and plug-in hybrid electric vehicle is mentioned, that means it is an EV intender. He intends to buy an electric vehicle. Okay, the value is 1 here. And the one who wants to buy a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle or an internal combustion engine, the value is 0. Okay, I believe Purushottam and Simran, you're able to see that. Okay, is it clear so far? यहाँ तक information clear है?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. ठीक है, so आगे बढ़ते हैं. So अब आपको ये समझ में आ गया कि जो हम डेटा एनालिसिस करने वाले हैं, हमारे पास एक डेटा सेट है जो एक सिंथेटिक डेटा सेट है, जिसको हमने 26 ग्लोबल कंज्यूमर स्टडी के बेसिस पे बनाया, जो डेलॉयट ने की. डेलॉयट ने अराउंड 28,000 कस्टमर्स के साथ बात की, यानी उनके डेटा सेट में कितनी रोज थी? मिनिमम अराउंड 28,500, क्योंकि इतने नंबर ऑफ कस्टमर्स से उन्होंने बात की. सिमिलरली हमारा जो सिंथेटिक डेटा सेट है, हम ये मान रहे हैं कि हमने 3,500 सिंथेटिक कंज्यूमर्स को कंसिडर किया है. सिंथेटिक का मतलब होता है कि इट इज नॉट ओरिजिनल एज ऑफ नाउ. ठीक है, मतलब डेटा सेट इज क्रिएटेड. ओके, सिंथेटिक का मतलब होता है कि वी हैव क्रिएटेड इट फॉर अवर एनालिसिस पर्पस. नाउ सिंथेटिक डेटा सेट्स रिसर्च में यूज होते हैं जनरली. जब भी रिसर्च पेपर्स पब्लिश किए जाते हैं, whenever you don't have original data at that point of time, data analysts use synthetic data. Okay, I believe this is clear. So हमने 8 मार्केट्स और 26 वेरिएबल्स यानी 26 कॉलम्स हैं हमारे डेटा सेट के अंदर. ठीक है, आई बिलीव यू आर क्लियर विद दिस. ये मैंने उस दिन भी बताया था, मैं दोबारा बता देता हूँ. वेरिएबल्स, कॉलम्स, फीचर्स, ऑल ऑफ दीज मीन द सेम थिंग. ठीक है, फीचर्स वो हो जाते हैं जो हम कंसिडर करते हैं अपनी डेटा एनालिसिस में. ओके, कुछ कॉलम्स हम रिमूव कर देंगे, कुछ कॉलम्स हम कंसिडर करेंगे अपनी एनालिसिस के लिए. तो जो कॉलम्स हम कंसिडर करते हैं एनालिसिस के लिए, उनको हम फीचर्स बोलते हैं. ठीक है, और फीचर्स के बेसिस पे हम एनालिसिस करते हैं. ओके, ये बात क्लियर हो गई? आर यू गाइस क्लियर टिल हियर? अब देखो, अब क्या है, अब हम डेटा सेट में देख रहे हैं कि कौन सा कॉलम क्या इंफॉर्मेशन रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है. ठीक है, ये आपने देख लिया. ओके, सो नाउ यू हैव सीन दिस कॉलम प्रेफर्ड नेक्स्ट इंजन. ये किसके अंदर है? दिस इज इन योर रेस्पॉन्डेंट डेटा. रेस्पॉन्डेंट डेटा शीट के अंदर आपके पास प्रेफर्ड नेक्स्ट इंजन और ईवी इंटेंडर इज अवेलेबल. ओके, ठीक है. हाउ यू गाइज वुड बी एबल टू एक्सेस इट? मैंने आपको लिंक शेयर कर दिया है. हैव यू ओपन दिस डेटा सेट, बोथ ऑफ यू? जो लिंक मैंने शेयर किया है, आप लोग अपने अपने कंप्यूटर्स में ये डेटा सेट ओपन कर लीजिए. ओके, इज दैट क्लियर? Once you open, just confirm me that you are able to open and see the data set. Okay. Once you get that, just confirm me. Yeah, I can see one of you here. Anonymous giraffe is here. वो randomly नाम assign कर देता है. And the second one is anonymous rabbit. Okay, both of you are able to access now, right?
Okay, these are these are our
So सिमरन को जिराफ बना दिया है.
Yes, sir.
पुरुषोत्तम को रैबिट बना दिया है. ओके, ठीक है. सो नाउ यू आर एबल टू सी द डेटा सेट, राइट? प्रिफर्ड नेक्स्ट इंजन एंड ईवी इंटेंडर. और आपको बाकी कॉलम्स भी अभी यहां तक पता चल गए हैं कि हमारे पास रेस्पोंडेंट आईडी है, हमारे पास कंट्री है, एज ऑफ द कंज्यूमर है, जेंडर ऑफ द कंज्यूमर है, एनुअल इनकम है हमारे पास उसकी, ओनरशिप स्टेटस है उसका, और प्रिफर्ड नेक्स्ट इंजन और ईवी इंटेंडर. ये डेटा है यहाँ तक, ठीक है? सो ये डेटा हम
सेम
यूज करेंगे.
सेम डेटा शीट नहीं खुली
सॉरी,
सर, ये सेम डेटा शीट नहीं खुली मेरे में एक्चुअली. फाइंड इट.
नो, कम टू रेस्पोंडेंट डेटा. आपके सामने रीड में आपने ओपन कर रखा होगा. ठीक है. सो नाउ यू आर क्लियर कि वी आर क्लियर टिल हियर, प्रेफर्ड नेक्स्ट इंजन एंड ईवी इंटेंडर. ठीक है, यहां तक हमें डेटा क्लियर हो गया. नाउ नेक्स्ट, व्हाट द बिजनेस वांट्स टू नो. द सेकंड थिंग द बिजनेस वांट्स टू नो इज अबाउट चार्जिंग. ठीक है. सो चार्जिंग में दे वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड वेयर इज द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर गैप. ओके, वेयर इज द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर गैप? दिस इज देयर क्वेश्चन. ओके, infrastructure gap means where people are able to charge their vehicles, in what region, and how do they charge, whether they charge at home, whether they charge at you know outside home, as in let's say at shopping malls, or are there any battery charging stations placed. So they wanted to understand what is the infrastructure gap. Okay, so for that there are two columns. The first column is expects home charging. The customers, those who expect home charging. Okay. Second column is home charger access. These are two kinds of columns which are available over here. Okay. So one is, let me take you there. So one is expects home charging. Which of these expect home charging? Okay. And those of them, those who have a home charger access. Okay. एक है एक्सपेक्टेशन, एक के पास एक्सेसिबिलिटी है. एक है जो एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा है कि मैं घर पे चार्ज कर पाऊं. बट द प्रॉब्लम इज, लेट्स से कोई थर्ड फ्लोर पे रहता है, ठीक है, इन एन अपार्टमेंट, एंड ही डज नॉट हैव एक्सेस इन द ग्राउंड, ठीक है, टू चार्ज एन इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल से. सो उसके लिए बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, because he does not have access to charge it. He expects a charger, he expects a situation, but he does not have access to a charger. Okay, are you understood? Have you understood? So one column is expects home charging. So there the customers have said yes or no, and do they have a home charger access or not. Okay, so some of them has mentioned that yes, okay, I live at a ground floor and I have access to charge my vehicle, or I live at a, let's say, koti, where I have access to park my vehicle inside the parking area and there I can charge. Okay, maybe I live in an apartment where I have a stilt parking where we have access of battery charging stations where multiple vehicles can be charged. Okay, so that is kind of information is available in this data set. So company wants to understand where is the infrastructure gap, how many customers are there, those who expect a home charger but do not have access to home charging facilities. Okay, then how we are going to enable them for this home charging, and only then they are going to buy, because as of now अभी आप लोग भी जानते हैं कि बहुत सारे लोग इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल इसलिए नहीं परचेज करते क्योंकि मे बी वो अपार्टमेंट्स पे रहते हैं अपर हायर फ्लोर्स पे, एंड दे डोंट हैव एक्सेस टू एनी ग्राउंड फैसिलिटी। पुराने अपार्टमेंट्स से मान लो, नए अपार्टमेंट्स में तो अब स्ट्रीट पार्किंग और ये सब कुछ हो गया है, बट जो पुराने अपार्टमेंट्स बने हुए हैं, ठीक है, जो ग्राउंड फ्लोर से बने हुए हैं, एंड नॉट जस्ट इन दिल्ली, मे बी अक्रॉस डिफरेंट states in India. So how much is the infrastructure gap and how many such customers are there, and can we offer them a facility जिसकी वजह से उनको चार्जिंग एक्सेस मिल जाए? अंडरस्टूड? ठीक है, तो ये एक क्वेश्चन है, कंपनी जानना चाहती है, एनालिस्ट को ये ढूंढ के हाइंडसाइट्स, इनसाइट्स और फोरसाइट्स निकाल के देनी पड़ेगी। ठीक है, कि व्हाट इज द इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर गैप डिपेंडिंग ऑन द कॉन्वर्जेशंस वी हैव विद द कस्टमर्स। ओके, depending on the survey which was done across the customers. I believe this is clear so far. यहां तक क्लियर है? इसके बाद में नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आता है, नेक्स्ट दे वांट टू नो ब्रांड रिटेंशन। ओके, हाउ मेनी आर जस्ट बाइंग इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स और दे लॉयल टू ब्रांड्स। अब जैसे क्या हुआ कि मैं मान लो कोई एक गाड़ी यूज कर रहा था, फॉर एग्जाम्पल सपोज मैं Hyundai यूज कर रहा था, ठीक है, अब मुझे इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल लेनी, या मान लो मैं टाटा यूज कर रहा था, सपोज मेरे पास एक टाटा सफारी थी, ठीक है, या कोई भी एक गाड़ी थी टाटा की छोटी मान लो, ठीक है, नाउ आई वांट टू स्विच टू इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल। सो टाटा ऑफर्स, लेट्स से कौन सी आती है टाटा की, कुछ आती है ना एक गाड़ी इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल काफी फेमस है, नियॉन, नेक्सॉन, हाँ नेक्सॉन आई थिंक, ऐसे समथिंग। ओके, सो लेट्स से नेक्सॉन। सो अब सवाल ये होता है कि अब मैं इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल लेने के लिए, ठीक है, हाउ मेनी ऑफ द कस्टमर्स आर रेडी टू स्विच द ब्रांड। ठीक है, जैसे कोई टाटा का कस्टमर है तो टाटा ही लेगा इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल, ठीक है, या जैसे होता था महिंद्रा का व्हीकल है तो हम तो महिंद्रा की गाड़ी लेंगे जी। ठीक है, इधर हरियाणा गुड़गांव में तो बहुत ये कॉमन थॉट प्रोसेसेस और प्रैक्टिसेस थी पहले, भाई हम तो स्कॉर्पियो ही चलाएंगे। ठीक है, सो 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 ब्रांड स्विच इंटेंट कितने कस्टमर्स का है, हाउ मेनी ऑफ देम आर इंटेंडिंग टू स्विच टू अनदर ब्रांड टू बाय इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल। ठीक है, सो दिस इज व्हाट वी वांट टू नो out of this analysis. Okay, so which markets needs loyalty action? कौन सी ऐसी मार्केट है जहां पे लोग ब्रांड लॉयल्टी नहीं शो कर रहे और हमें कुछ एक्शंस लेने पड़ेंगे इन ऑर्डर टू एंश्योर लॉयल्टी ऑफ द कस्टमर्स। ओके, तभी तो बेच पाएंगे सामान। ठीक है, सो ब्रांड स्विच का इंटेंट इज द कॉलम नेम जिसके अंदर ये इंफॉर्मेशन मेंशन है। ठीक है, सो आई एम टेकिंग यू टू ब्रांड स्विच इंटेंट। So brand switch intent is whether a customer want to switch a brand to buy an electric vehicle or not. Okay, yes and no में ये values given है, brand switch intent. Now, what is the next part of the data? The next is digital sales. Okay, the digital sales, and what does that ask? So the company wants to decide should direct purchase be offered. Okay, so people, those who are interested in a direct purchase, okay, maybe online if anybody is ready, or with a digital sales medium if anybody is ready to buy a vehicle. Okay, so what is that readiness among the customer? So interested direct purchase is a column in your data set. Okay, interested direct purchase, here is the column interested direct purchase. So 0 is no, 1 is yes. How many of these customers are interested to buy via digital sales medium? Okay, digital sales medium क्या है? You have seen apps like Cars 24, Spinny. You open a mobile phone, you buy a vehicle, through an app, and then they come to your home and deliver the vehicle. You don't need to go anywhere out. Have you seen that? That is digital sales. So how many of these customers are ready to buy it digitally through an app like Spinny, Cars24 or so, where they can see the photographs of cars, see their specifications, see pricing XYZ, do an EMI or book a drive or something like that, and eventually the brand provider will bring the car at their doorstep. And this is also a very common practice nowadays. Very few people, in fact, the people, those who are buying second hand cars are majorly doing this. They use this application to, search for vehicles and buy them online. Buy and sale is happening via digital sales medium. So this is also an important question to ask. Okay. Then, so the data is in interested direct purchase column. Okay. Next is software defined vehicles. Okay. Software defined vehicles. Internet inside, AI inside. Many of these cars are offering, जैसे Kia में देखो तो AI features हैं, ठीक है? MG Hector में देखो तो internet inside है. Okay. So, which customers value AI, ATA, SDV, AI, OTA fields? ठीक है? क्या है ये? Let's just put it here. So, SDV, OTA. AI तो आपको पता ही है, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस है. एसडीवी तो सॉफ्टवेयर डिफाइंड व्हीकल है, ठीक है. ओटीए देख लेते क्या है. ओवर द एयर अपडेट्स. ओटीए इज ओवर द एयर अपडेट्स, विच मीन्स दैट्स अ सॉफ्टवेयर डिफाइंड व्हीकल. क्या है? अ कार whose features, functions, and performance are primarily enabled and upgraded through software rather than hardware. ठीक है. इनफैक्ट आजकल मेजोरिटी ऑफ द कार सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोग्राम्ड ही है. इनफैक्ट आज से क्या, मैं तो 2013-14 से देख रहा हूँ. मतलब मेजोरिटी ऑफ दीज फीचर्स ऑफ दिस कार, महिंद्रा एक्सयूवी जब आई थी, they have enabled a lot of features in their car, so that they have launched it, I think in 2012-13, maybe somewhere around that. उससे पहले तो उतने फीचर रिच नहीं आती थे व्हीकल्स, बट 2013-14 they had this in a normal category. अच्छे उन्होंने वो लॉन्च किए थे. So if you see, so जो भी उसकी मतलब प्रोग्रामिंग है ऑफ द व्हीकल एंड एवरीथिंग, these mechanics used to do that with a plug connected to the vehicle and checking, scanning any of these errors in the vehicle, sensor connectivity and all of that, including engine performance, tire pressure, braking, media connectivity, everything. So everything is now software defined. Okay. So this is the column. Second is OTA. OTA stands for over the air updates. Okay. Now, what is this over the air updates? The wireless delivery of new software. Okay. Which means your computer, you don't need to go to a workshop and get the mechanic connect that licensed, software via internet, via wireless. It can be, your vehicle can be upgraded, or your vehicle can be, new software can be updated on the system. So they have like configuration settings, encryption keys to vehicles. This allow manufacturers to patch bugs, recall software fixes, add features remotely without a dealership visit. So this is over the air updates. Okay. ये भी एक important part है. Okay. The AI is artificial intelligence, the computational brain inside the car. It processes sensor data for autonomous driving, predicts mechanical failures, and powers smart voice activated infotainment systems. Okay. So this is what AI does to your vehicle. Okay. So our software defined vehicles use AI to continuously learn your driving habits and monitor road safety. Okay, this is what they are meant to do. Okay, When engineers develop an improvement based on this data, the manufacturer pushes an OTA update directly to your car while it sits in your driveway overnight. Okay, can you see that? So what is happening? Constantly data is being collected out of your cars across your driving habits and safety monitoring data which is collected through this vehicle. It is synced to these organization servers. There these data analysts analyze the performance of the vehicle, and then they bring new updates across safety, braking, and various other vehicle parameters. And then they patch those programs wirelessly, so your vehicle gets improved automatically on the basis of the data which is being collected. Okay, and now obviously you are aware about autonomous cars where there is no driver, the driverless cars. Okay, so how they are going to get fixed? So they are going to get fixed online, over the air. Their updates gets done. I believe this is clear. Okay, now let's see what are the car brands leading in SDV technology. Let's have a look. So it will keep us more realistic. टेस्ला, नियो, एक्सपेंग, Xiaomi ये भी बना रही है. ठीक है. The legacy innovators, Mercedes Benz, BMW, Volkswagen, Hyundai, all of these are building SDVs now. Okay, I believe we are clear on this now. So which customers value AI and over the air updates? How many of these customers are open for an over the air update in their vehicle and improvement of their driving abilities via artificial intelligence? How many of them are interested? Okay, so there is this column known as SDV, AI, and OTA fields. There are three different columns in the data set. Okay, which defines this information. Okay, I believe we are clear. And for today's session, we'll discuss this last part and then we will continue in the next session. Okay. So the next business area which we have to cover is service trust. Okay. What drives repeat service? Okay. These organizations make money via service business. They don't make money via selling cars. They make money by selling services. ओके जब व्हीकल सर्विस होने जाता है ना, देन दे मेक गुड पीस ऑफ मनी. जब रिपेयर होता है या कोई नए नए पार्टिकल्स लगते हैं, ठीक है, पार्ट्स लगते हैं, देन दे मेक अ लॉट ऑफ मनी. ओके, सो what drives repeat service? Why the customers are coming to service? So identification of those reasons. So there are certain columns like quality, trust, pricing transparency, scores. Okay, these are some of the columns in the data set which are taken into consideration in order to address this business area, to identify service trust among the customers and what are the reasons which will drive customers to come back for service. This is what a data analyst has to identify. He has to perform this diagnostic analysis and give the appropriate reason. You see, company, these are the reasons which will help you drive your customers coming back to your workshop for service, and then you make money. So all of this money making insights, hindsights, foresights is the objective of a data analyst to do. Okay, are you understanding how important this role could be? So this role is very, very, very important. Okay, and this role is something where intelligence and thought process is required. Bigger vision, bigger thought processes are required. Second order thinking is required. Third order thinking is required. Okay, so you do one thing. Today, you go to any of these LLMs like ChatGPT or Claude and learn about what is first order thinking, second order thinking, and third order thinking. ठीक है, कि मैं X काम करूंगा, उससे Y इम्पैक्ट होगा और उस Y इम्पैक्ट से Z होगा. ठीक है, that is third order thinking. Okay, is that clear? So how to do that? First order, second order, and third order thinking. Okay, that will eventually change your game. Clear? And that will help you in data analysis also. So that is all for today. So the central principle is a data analyst does not merely calculate numbers. The analyst reduces uncertainty so that business can make better decisions. Okay. So your objective is to reduce uncertainty so that a business can make a better decision. This is what is your role.